Hello, and I have two foundations from Becca. One is the Ultimate Coverage, so it's supposed to be a high coverage foundation, and the other one is a newer version. It's a lightweight Aqua Luminous foundation, so it's supposed to be a more lightweight foundation. I'm always on the hunt for the perfect foundation, and it's just because my skin's getting older, I'm encountering more problems, and yeah, I just wanted to try everything out. My skin is very dry, red, and has wrinkles, so I thought I'd do these reviews just in case anybody had similar problems or a similar skin type. Now, the only reason I bought these are quite expensive. I think they're about £30 on their own, but I bought them as part of deals on QVC. So I will talk about the Becca High Coverage Foundation first. It's not called high coverage, it's called ultimate coverage, but it suggests that it's a high coverage foundation. And I am wearing each foundation on either side of my face, and I've been wearing it for about an hour and a half now. There's a little bit of wear coming through under my nose because I have got a cold, but I will bring it in a little bit closer in a minute. So I just really want to talk about the formula first. So I bought this in the shade Cashmere, which I think is one or two up from the Fairest. And it comes in a pump form. I usually love pumps. I don't like this pump because it pumps up a lot more than I need out. So I've already pumped this foundation just in case I had a big accident on camera. But that is the Cashmere shade here. The formula is very creamy. It doesn't feel like a full coverage foundation at all. It blends in actually pretty well with a brush. I actually think it is very easy to blend this in, and it stays on a pretty long time, honestly, until I take the makeup off at the end of the day. So I'm just going to bring you in and let you see. So it is a full coverage foundation, but because the formula is so creamy, I think you need to build it up to achieve the full coverage. So to be honest, I keep it at the sort of medium coverage, which is one thin layer, because it does a good job on covering anything that I need. It covers up some blemishes and covers up some of the redness which I need, and that's just with the one thin layer. Now I have no powder on at the minute, and I find that you don't really need a powder to set this foundation, and because of that it just feels very light on the skin. So I really do like this foundation a lot. I think it does exactly what I needed. And yeah, what more can you ask from that? So I'll get on to the Aqua Luminous foundation. Now, it is a very watery foundation. That's it there. And I looked at the reviews online before I did purchase it, and one of the reviews was saying about the shades to always go a shade lighter, and that kept popping up on the reviews, so I did go a shade lighter, and I took that, I think is in the shade Fair. So that is the shade Fair there, which doesn't look all that different from the Cashmere. So I'm glad I took that advice of the reviews. And the formula is very watery, and because it's very watery, it's a bit more harder to blend in. It won't blend in with a brush. I find that a sponge, no matter what kind of sponge it is, but as long as it's a damp sponge, that seems to do the job of blending that in. The coverage is different from the ultimate coverage. It is very lightweight, But it does cover a lot of redness up, but it leaves some blemishes like freckles showing through on the skin, which I think is really actually very good for an everyday foundation, where you just maybe want a little bit of redness covered and some natural skin showing through. So I do like that as an everyday foundation. Some of the other reviews said about they didn't like the way that it made the skin look, too shiny. But you can see after an hour and a half, my skin doesn't look all that shiny. It just looks as if there is a bit of a glow, which I think is very natural looking. So I think after a while it does sort of dry down slightly, and I do like the coverage and the finish that it does give to the skin. Which do I prefer? I think I do prefer this just simply for an everyday sort of foundation, because the redness is my main problem, and I think it does a good job of covering redness, and because it's so lightweight it just doesn't settle in any lines at all, and it just feels very light on the skin. I do like this foundation, and I find that this would be good if I am going somewhere and I want to look extra polished. I would maybe use 2 layers of this, because I definitely think it's not a high coverage foundation without putting 2 layers on. Would I buy them again? Yes, I think I would buy the Aqua luminous one, because it is so lightweight and it feels really, really great on the skin, and I like the look that it gives on the skin. I just wish it was a little bit cheaper, so I probably wait until more offers come up on QVC. So that is it. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. And yes, I hope you have a lovely day or a lovely evening wherever you are. Thank you.